Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In this video I will show you how to assemble a 2-layers cake and decorate it with the picture on top of it. But before we get started, don't forget to subscribe and let's enjoy baking and cooking together. And now let's return to the video. As you can see, I have cut my sponge cake into 2 layers. Then I have moisturized it with cream. The next step is to add the frosting and spread it evenly. I'm using a cottage cheese frosting and will share the recipe in the next videos. Then I'm moisturizing the second layer and placing it on top of the frosting. Usually I cover cake with ganache before adding the final layer of frosting to make it more stable. But this cake is not going to be transported anywhere, so I skipped that part. This is the first layer of frosting to make the cake smooth and even. And after applying this first layer, the cake has to go to the fridge to set. This type of the cake is small and not complicated, so you can leave it in the fridge for 30-60 minutes. And as for bigger cakes which contain more fillings, more different types of decorations or frostings, it's better to leave them in the fridge for a longer time to set. The most important rule for any type of cake is to follow the recipe and see how much time you need for each step. As you can see, I have finished applying the first layer and tidied the board. And the cake will go to the fridge. The picture was bigger than the cake, so I have cut the edges. The next step is to take the plastic off and cover it with melted white chocolate. This step is really important because without it, the picture will start to dissolve on the wet surface of the frosting. You can melt chocolate on the water bath or use the microwave, but for that you will need to find the special regime. And now the picture is in the fridge and I'm applying the second layer of the frosting. You don't need to apply much, you just need to make it white and make sure that the layers of sponge cake are not visible. I have melted more chocolate and applied the food colorant. The most important is that the food colorant has to be oil-based, otherwise the chocolate will crystallize. And by the way, if you like baking and creating, make sure you follow my Instagram pages. One is about cakes and the second one is about creating greeting cards to make birthday parties even brighter. All of the links are below this video. And now it's the time to decorate our cake. The cake has to be cold and the chocolate has to be liquid but not hot at all. It has to be slightly warm, but again make sure it is still liquid. I normally use spoon to make drips. The more chocolate you apply at a time, the farther down it will go. I'm going to apply chocolate on the whole surface of the top of the cake. I'm doing this to make sure that the picture is lying evenly on the smooth surface. And while the chocolate is still liquid, it's a good time to apply the picture. It will act like glue and stick very well. I have transferred the rest of the frosting into the piping bag and will use it to cover the edges of the picture. And here it is, I'm piping tiny flowers to make sure that the whole picture is visible and all of the imperfections are covered. The next step is to add sprinkles, let the cake set a bit and then finally see what is inside. So the sprinkles are added and have a look at the result. This type of decoration is quite simple, relatively quick, and you don't really need lots of special tools to make it. Hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe and see you in the next one.